come on, the moment when he's like dying and Luke's like, we have to get you out of here, and he's like, no, it's too late. And he's like, I gotta save you, and Darth Vader's like, you already have. Oh, that
It's
gets
also,
me.
again, it's like what we talked about in, I think, the Akira episode, where it's like Akira went to the dark path, but then in the end, he still ascended to God
Oh,
consciousness.
Tetsuo? Or,
Yes,
yeah.
not Akira, but
Right.
in that episode, Darth Vader, he takes this dark path, but then at the end, he's still redeemable.
And honestly, you can't even really imagine what would have happened if he didn't do that, but that truly is the way that it had to shake out. I mean, they make that clear, like
Yeah.
the Force.
And it just makes me think of religion.
Uh-huh.
Like you could be Darth Vader. You could be out there. You could be worse than Darth Vader, and you can still be forgiven, and you can still ascend to be a Force ghost.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Look at like Luke and Padme both at one point, that at different points say about Darth Vader, like, there's good in him. I feel it.
Yeah, right before she died.
Yeah, there's good. Yeah, that was were her dying words. There's good in him. There's good in him. And then Luke, when he's like face to face with Darth Vader, there's good in you. I can feel it. I feel it.
No, so she sang that, and Obi-Wan is holding Luke right next to her.
Oh, shit.
And I'm thinking,
Right.
oh my God.
Damn.
Like he is absorbing that information even though he's an infant child.
Shit.
Well, he feels it through the Force.
Well, yeah.
Right,
but like-
it's pretty crazy. It's so poetic.
It's symbolic. It's poetic.
There are a lot of moments like that in Star Wars.
I want to remind you guys, we talked about this in episode 2 of the podcast. I'm talking like 2 years ago, episode 2.
Yeah.
Now, this is speculation, but in Kabbalah, there's the 10 Sephiroth, or there's the 9 Sephiroth and then the 10th, which is like supposedly the convergence of all realities. In Kabbalah, the 10th Sephiroth is Da'ath, D-A-A-T-H, which is the Hebrew word for knowledge or gnosis. It's the special kind of knowledge that is unique to the consciousness. So it's like, imagine it being like passing through the metaphysical doorway where the mystical, invisible knowledge is received. So like, these Jedi, they get seduced to the Sith. They pass through this doorway of the forbidden, the forbidden arts, and they receive this knowledge that is not considered acceptable by the other Jedi. I don't know. I wonder if he was playing on this word when creating Darth.
Yeah.
So essentially his name means all-knowing father.
Darth Vader, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could think about it like that out of the
The
box.
father of
Darth
Gnosis.
It's speculation, but yeah.
The father of Gnosis. Like, which is like low-key some Lucifer type shit. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's pretty crazy. It's one of those stories that, like, you could look at it from 10 different angles and get 10 different, like, rich spiritual meanings from it.
Right.
Like, it's just packed to the brim with allegory.
I also think of Anakin's descent into Darth Vader as being like the symbolic dark night of the soul that we all experience when we are awakening. Because it's like shadow work. Like when we awaken to a higher reality, when we reach a state of vibration and gnosis where we are like existentially aware that we are an immortal light being, it's kind of like it's heavy at first. Because we come face to face with our shadow side, our traumas. I mean, it's not easy to awaken.
No.
And I think Darth Vader is like very symbolic of that, the dark night of the soul.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine since he was 10 years old, he found out about the Jedi and he just wants to be a Jedi, and he's been training to control his emotions and to not feel things and not be attached and none of that stuff. And then suddenly he like starts developing feelings on his own, and he's having this internal struggle between like the path of enlightenment, the spiritual path, and the matter path. He's like
power.
He's like, it feels good to be attached to these things, but I'm not supposed to be attached to these things because I want to be a great Jedi. But it's seductive because it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good in the moment. Anakin is feeling like very disrespected or like shirked by the Jedi Council. Like he doesn't matter to them. He's not important to them.
Well, they did a good job making him feel that way.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, but they were right, weren't they?
They were right.
They were right the whole time.
They were.
They could feel it the whole time. They kept saying, "I have a sense of plot. Something about him's not right." They were right.
He's not ready. He's not ready, and it's because like they probably had that little kernel of a feeling like this could go south, and if it does,
and it did,
exactly, yeah.
Did it go south? Because
it did. Yeah, it went south, and it had to go south to go north.
Well, right. I mean, like destiny played out regardless.
Right.
But if the Jedi Council had given him, I want to say more respect, but really it would be more communication and more openness. If they would have been like, look, you're not ready and this is why, not just you're not ready, sit down, boy.
Well, I mean, these are like old enlightened masters, and he's like a 20-something-year-old kid who's like trying to get buck with them.
Yeah.
You know,
also
like,
a 20-something-year-old kid that could probably kick their butt.
I mean, not really. Obi-Wan humbled him, and Obi-Wan wasn't even the most powerful one. Mace Windu smacked Sidious. His by combat ability, Mace Windu was the peak.
Yeah.
He got
Mace
cheated.
Mace Windu is literally like he's canon the best lightsaber fighter of all Jedi and Sith. Like,
is that how he got a special one?
No, he got a. You know the story about that?
No.
Oh my God, bro! This is literally how he got a purple lightsaber. Samuel L. Jackson, when they were doing,
like the real life story,
yes.
not like the.
Listen, no, there is no. Well, they did retroactively make a lore reason as to why, but Samuel L. Jackson, when they were filming the second one, he just like walked up. There's a video of it. It's in Empire of Dreams. He walks up to George Lucas and he's like, "So who makes the decision on the lightsaber colors?" And George is like, "Well, the good guys are blue and green, and the bad guys are red." And he's like, "So there's no purple?" And George was like, "We could maybe give you a purple one." And he got a purple one. That was it.
Yeah. So then they were like, "Well, he's also knowledgeable in the dark arts, so it's red mixed with blue." But like that's the real reason. He was like, "I want a purple one."
Yeah. And George was like, "That'd be dope," and they did it. Yeah. But Mace Windu is canonically the best lightsaber duelist of all.
He's kind of like the peak Jedi. Like he was leading the meetings and everything.
You know, the only person that could like keep up with him in sparring, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I believe that.
He's the only one. And then like Yoda is the strongest in the Force,
right?
Like among Jedi. But truly, Darth Vader is like leagues stronger than like
peak Darth Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader does things with the Force that is just like it doesn't. He like pulls Imperial cruisers out of space with the Force. Like he's on a different.
Do you remember in the show, the Obi-Wan show that came out last year, where he was like fighting lightsaber duels with the Force? That was cool.
Oh,
it was like kung fu. Like that was cool, dude.
Dude, he was like
we should show him that clip.
He was blocking lightsabers with his hand with the Force. Like just like
that was cool, bro.
And then they're trying to escape in that ship, and they're like taking off super quick, and he literally just stops them and pulls them.
We should
down.
show him the clip in Rogue One too. At the end, when he's chasing him down the hallway.
Bro, that is
seen
insane. You have?
Yeah, I watched Rogue One.
Unreal, bro.
Because me and my buddies watched Rogue One, and then we got walkie-talkies and started driving around calling each other red leader, gold leader.
Okay, let's geek out for a minute. Let's geek out for just a minute. Let's just get real geeky about Star Wars. Alex, you've seen all 6. Which one's your favorite? Episode 1?
Yeah.
Okay, episode 1. What's your favorite lightsaber battle? You tell me that Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight was not so good.
Yeah.
Dude, think about this. Remember that moment when they were fighting on the table and they were doing the exact same moves so they weren't hitting each other? They were like spinning the sabers around them in the exact same formation. So
it's because he trained him, so they have the same.
Exactly.
You know?
When Anakin cuts Dooku's head off,
that was cool.
That's my favorite.
That shit was sick.
I like their fight in the second movie.
Yeah, that was
where like you know they knocked the lights out and Obi-Wan got beat up, so like Anakin has both their sabers and he's fighting with 2 sabers in the dark, and then Yoda shows up.
Yeah.
That just didn't have the outcome I wanted.
Well,
so that's why it's not
let
my
go
favorite.
of your control, you know.
No, I know, but I liked the anger and the do it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like my favorites are Duel of Fates, like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul is like on. Dude, you tell me when you were a kid and you watch episode 1 for the first time and you see Darth Maul light up his lightsaber and then a second one comes out, you tell me you didn't shit yourself.
Oh, dude, I was like 6 years old, first of all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like this is the best thing I've ever seen.
You can do that?
Yeah. He has a double one.
Yeah, like he has two.
Because, I'd seen 4, 5, and 6 on VHS like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Do you know what one of my issues with the 7, 8, and 9 are?
What? Have you seen them?
Well, I know enough of them.
Okay.
I mean, Ryan's holding one of the lightsabers from 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, you are so right that Darth Maul's lightsaber, stunning.
It's
right,
so sick.
ahead of its time.
It's mind blowing.
And then they're like, "Oh, we could just keep doing this." And I'm like, "No. No, not everybody gets a special one."
This one's cool though.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it's cool, but it's like
there's a lore reason as to like Kylo made it like that. The thing is, in like Star Wars lore, there actually are dual sabers. There have like always been dual sabers. Like even in Old Republic times, there were Sith who had dual sabers. In different forms and fashions too. But that is like just a creation of Kylo's himself. He was just like, his lightsaber is all fucked up. Like it uses a cracked kyber crystal, so it's like very unstable. And he actually had to put those on the side as vents.
Yeah, they're like exhaust vents.
It's just like a side effect that it happens to work as a hilt. He put those on there because he uses a cracked kyber crystal, and he had to vent it. It's kind of crazy. Like 7, 8, and 9 I like them a lot. I'm wearing a Force Awakens shirt right now.
all right, geeking out.
Yes.
Ryan, what's your favorite lightsaber?
Ooh.
Oh, it's either Luke's green one or Obi-Wan's.
Yo.
Or Qui-Gon's. I like the hilt.
Oh yeah, Qui-Gon's is really cool. I love Count Dooku's.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Count Dooku's.
His hilt is tight.
It's like that curve,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
crazy. And when he ignites it, he like does it like down, like he goes like, pew, and like dude, it's so sick.
Yeah, Count Dooku is epic.
I also like Yoda's little dainty one.
Oh, yeah. he uses a youngling's training saber. Like he literally, I mean, he eventually had one crafted for himself, but it is a youngling-sized lightsaber.
I ripped this quote last night when we were watching the movie. I just thought it was so cool in terms of like magical knowledge. Sidious, when he was seducing Anakin at that play where they're having that private conversation in secret, he said, "If one is to understand the great mystery, one must understand and study all of its aspects." He was trying to seduce him to study the dark side.
He's not wrong.
But the great mystery, I mean, literally, like in the dialogue, they are talking in esoteric. I think of like being in the Renaissance era, going to some alchemical society, and they're like reading this knowledge to you, in order to understand the great mystery. That's the vibe I get from the dialogue of the Jedi and the Sith.
For sure. And Alex, you might not know this because it never really explicitly says it in the movie. It talks about it in the books and stuff. But Qui-Gon is what's considered a gray Jedi. And it's because like he is a Jedi, but he is knowledgeable in the sides of the ways of the dark side. And it's interesting that he was the first one to become a Force ghost.
And then his Padawan becomes a Force ghost, and then his
Padawan becomes a Force ghost.
Yeah.
And then his son becomes a Force ghost. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But Luke becomes a Force ghost.
Strange how that works.
And Yoda too, but I mean, come on. We all saw that coming.
Yeah, Yoda
gets what Yoda wants.
Yes.
Yoda is like,
Yoda's Dumbledore.
you know how old Yoda is?
900 and something.
Yeah, he's like 900 and something years old.